Interesting. Starting to the bottom left, we have the Zerg player. Samsung Khan.
Samsung Khan Shine.
Going into the oversupply and might start with an 11 pool or starts the Overlord now. But we have for his opponent a much more aggressive build in this game. Starting to the bottom right of the map on a Newkirk, we have for the Prime team in game number 3.
MarineKing Prime.
A very aggressive forward barracks made on 8 supply. We will see the same Reaper build. And I think this is actually, now that I think back, the map that we saw this against Mamori, he put it at the base of the top left. And I think this is the map that he did it on. Regardless of whatever map he did on, he's doing the same build here. The drone checks the proxy location he used last time. It's not there. It's in a completely different location. A very smart move by MarineKing. And this drone could still potentially see it, though.
Yeah. The drone could find out on... Oh, Shine! No! Yes! Ah, he sees it. Shine sees it. He will not be able to stop that barracks. He should at least not be able to do it. MarineKing already shifting patterns with the SCV here to make sure that the barracks is going to complete. But Shine, of course, knows exactly what's happening right now. And that's why he starts his pool early and doesn't go into the hatch first as he intended.
Yeah. And this is a great situation for Shine to be in right now against MarineKing, because if he holds this with very little damage taken, or at least the best possible scenario for him, then MarineKing's production is all going to be affected by this. His barracks is in the middle of the map. He can't really use that back at home. He's going to have to fly. He also is going to have a very delayed orbital, for example, very delayed command center.
What MarineKing sacrifices here is his economy, and he needs to do some damage with his aggression. And on the other hand, something that he should not neglect is also building a wall in his own main base. We have seen Terran players fall with this opening because the Zerg identified the threat and was able to sneak Zerglings past his opponent's Reapers into the main base, and then there was just nothing to defend, and the Terran just lost his entire economy and had to GG. So that is something that MarineKing has to be very careful about. He wants to apply the pressure, and he will do some damage. He needs to get some kills here.
Yeah, needs to get some kills indeed. So far the micro on the Reaper very decent against those Lings, but you know, ideally he would want to be doing this against drones arriving here against a hatch first with his barracks hidden. Not the case. His second Reaper is out. He's pulled one drone or one SCV out of the gas so he can get his commander up just a little bit faster.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if I really like the position for MarineKing supply depot. I mean, the thought of process behind this is, of course, just getting the supply depot there so that he doesn't lose a lot of mining time. But the danger that you face is if you once don't pay attention and those Zerglings run past your Reapers, you might lose your entire economy to them.
I like this bunker because this is something that's going to force Shine to react with. He has to move his queen down the ramp, and if he does that, the queen is very slow. MarineKing may be able to pick it off, and he can't kill the bunker. There's no way he's going to have enough units. He starts 6 Lings, but the bunker is going to finish. Unless he can maybe target that SCV. No, he doesn't do it.
No, there's also a third Reaper now on the way, and the Reapers are immediately trying to take out the Queen. If they succeed, that would of course be awesome, just limiting the production of Shine for a long time since he can't use his injects anymore.
Yeah, MarineKing's taken a bad situation and turned it into a decent one here. He's got a lot of pressure. Yeah. The Ling's running by, a very smart choice. This is what you talked about earlier. That's why that depot placement is so important back at home.
And yeah, well, talking about the depot placement, I don't see anything at home that can actually stop those Zerglings.
I don't even think he saw them go. I don't think he even knows they're on the way.
That's exactly the problem. So he needs to... Well, he needs to force a wall now at the small ramp, and he can cancel the command center on the low ground, or if he just can't complete it in time, he can lift it. But yeah, this is definitely... This is tricky. There is no wall.
He starts a wall, but it's not the proper one. He's going to have to stop production of his command center at the very least, like you said.
He needs to get the supply depot. He needs to get the supply depot at the ramp.
Saying the Reaper's home is not an option. I feel like Shine thinks there's a wall, but there's not. So that's why he's not trying to go.
No, he knows. He knows. There's no wall.
Oh, of course, yeah. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever said, but...
Don't worry about it, but it's just like, I am a little bit surprised that he doesn't build another... Okay, there's at least one Reaper, so with good micro he can make that happen, but he also needs to micro at the front.
There's 23 Lings here that are not just going to sit around. Once speed finishes, they're going to be across the map in seconds.
Well, the only thing that's important for MarineKing at this point is just completing the command center so he can lift it.
Yeah. And he's still... his wall is a little bit weak here. There's no Baneling Nest, though.
Yeah, and that's the issue. Like, the Speedlings alone are not going to break through this. Here, now he can lift.
Well, the reactor, he can't repair the reactor. That's one thing he could go for here.
Too many Reapers, I feel.
Yeah, there's 4.
Yeah. With 4 Reapers, the losses, you would lose too much. He loses one SCV, so that's fine for now. But let's just look a little bit at the situation that we are in right now. MarineKing goes for 3rd CC now. He has 21 SCVs against 26 drones. There are 22 Zerglings on the map. This is why we have such a huge difference in supply for Shine now. But MarineKing actually has like a decentish economy once that he gets that command center on the low ground, and he has his tech also up. So he's not as far behind as he could have been.
Yeah. Well,
and the problem really is that Shine gets so many Zerglings that he cannot use.
Exactly. They're useless larvae at this point. He spent money on something he can't use until much later in the game. That's why he's having to make 7 drones at a time right now back at home, 10, even 11.
To be quite frank with you, I think for Shine it would have been the better choice to not focus on the command center low ground, but just use those Zerglings and run into the main base. It was only 6, so they will not take down the entire mineral line, but there was nothing at this point in the main base they could have defended. That Reaper arrived later.
Yeah,
so
killing the SV to delay the command center was one thing, but trying to kill the command center itself or force a cancel on it, the idea is good, but I think he should have had more reasonable expectations for that. But you would delayed so much mine time, killed so many harvesters in the main base if he had just, like you said, run inside. And once speed finished, actually, if he could keep the wall down with the rest of those links coming, he might have just been able to end the game.
Yep.
I completely agree with you there.
So right now we have MarineKing, well, he's gonna potentially fall a little bit behind in upgrades if Shine uses those 2 evolution chambers immediately that he now starts building. But MarineKing is starting to get a decent force out onto the map, and he has Stim coming up and also a lot of Marines and Hellions, so he can do a lot here. Keep in mind that he also has that 3rd command center, that 3rd orbital that he can use. So he's actually getting a decent position here. It all comes down to the decisions within the next 2 minutes from both players.
Yeah. MarineKing is going to try to attack the 3rd base from a different angle here. Unfortunately for him, I just don't see him having the firepower to take it down, but he is going to force more units out for Shine. Baneling Nest is now on the way, as he does need that to defend against the pressure that MarineKing is going to send out later. He's starting to get some damage done here, and it's hard for Shine to commit with the Lings. He makes 12 more Lings, and you know, he could... I don't think he'll get this base, but he could. It's already down to about half hit points here.
The Zerglings are actually going for the counter-attack instead. MarineKing is building a wall, so I'm not quite sure if that's actually going to help.
Yeah,
the
I don't think so.
Queen is going down here, and the hatch, as you already said, that might fall. Oh!
No wall. The wall is not tight. He has a few Hellions, though, and that should be enough.
That should definitely be enough to take down those units. The SCVs are already fighting as well, and those Marines and the rest of the army is still doing a lot of damage at that hatch, taking down all of the Zerglings that Shine just built, and Shine is just not in a position where he can macro properly.
Yeah,
his multitasking is falling apart a bit.
It absolutely is, and I think he's going to lose his hatchery color. The drone goes down, the hatchery down to 330 hit points here. There's a few more volleys, and it's gone. 200 hit points now. The Baneling's definitely not going to make this happen. He can actually get away, too. Hatch, gone.
There we go. Hatch will go down. Those Banelings were too late.
1 hit point.
MarineKing.
1 hit point.
MarineKing.
Okay.
Okay, thank God. I was like, dude, if you don't kill that hatch.
That was 1 hit point, man. That was really scary.
Gerard was probably just staring at the screen and was like, don't you dare to let that hatch live.
Gerard spilled his coffee, man.
Well, +1/+1 is now on the board for both players. We have both of them at exactly the same supply. The Zerglings once again running across the map. They won't do a lot of damage, but Banelings could do the trick. Is he morphing a few? He's getting his 3rd base up and also a 4th, but keep in mind that MarineKing is relying on 3 orbitals already, so the economy for the Terran player is really good.
Yeah, MarineKing has equalized in any economy problems that he had earlier by far with this, and his medevacs are coming out soon. Upgrades right now, 1-1 for Shine, very much ahead. MarineKing's upgrade's not even halfway done yet, but he still has a strong force, and that's the key here. There's only 3 Marines out for Shine, so it depends, or 3 Banelings I should say, so it depends on when MarineKing wants to move out, how much he can get done here.
And you know, right now Shine is actually very reluctant to invest gas into the 2nd set of upgrades because his 3rd was just taken out, so it takes a little bit longer for him to get those extra extractors up, and he wants to have the gas for the mutalisks. So MarineKing has the chance to not only equalize the upgrades, but also maybe even get a little bit ahead.
Yeah, Shine is going to go for mutalisks here, it looks like. He's saving all of his gas for that. He has Burrow as well. And MarineKing, he has a massive lead in supply right now, and also in army just because Shine is waiting. He's waiting for that Spire to finish, but MarineKing definitely could have hit a more aggressive timing here. It's just that he can't know that. It's impossible for him to know.
Overlord in the main base, getting an Overseer, getting those scouting informations, and the most important thing for him to note is that there are no missile turrets whatsoever. A few Marines alone are not going to take down those mutalisks. 10 of them are being built, but MarineKing, he goes straight for the missile turret now. So that will help him a lot.
His armory is completing around the same time as his 1-1 upgrade, so he's going to be able to hit 2-2 very nicely.
Really nice defense here at the 3rd too. Like building the bunker there, that will help him a lot. And he's once again on the map trying to take down a few of those tree tumors, but there are baneling traps.
Yeah, baneling trap's really important here because he knows that he's behind, and when you do baneling traps, you're always taking a risk, but it could pay off. Could pay off as we speak!
Oh my god!
Nice!
That hurt.
Scans going down here to make sure that doesn't happen again, also to clear the tumors.
Yeah, but that was definitely a really good investment here for Shine. That was so well done, and he lured him into the baneling. So good job here by Shine. And MarineKing, he realized that he has to be very careful, but he has a 30 supply lead, and that's always awesome for a Terran player.
Yeah, really, really nice here. That baneling hit was good, but it's not going to turn the game around alone. And he has to do some other things as well, like trying to set flanks like this with his mutas and his banelings. Maybe he can catch some MarineKing's medevacs. He will get them.
Yeah, he's getting the medevacs, but there are reinforcements already, and let's see if he can take down not only the banelings, but maybe a few of those mutalisks moving in immediately.
Yeah, committing to that attack was a bit of an overextension by Shine. I don't think he expected those Marauders to be there.
MarineKing was down in the best of 3. Shine took the first map. MarineKing was one map loss away from being eliminated from the season and going to the up and downs. So at this point, he has a 30 supply overall lead, and he is in a great position with 3 bases, the units on the map control, trying to push the creep back. Needs to take down that Overlord at the 4th base that spreads creep if he wants to take that to the top right. But he's in a great position.
It's hard to imagine that he had what most people would call a build order disadvantage from the beginning of this game, since his proxy was scouted too. He's really made it work. And the map control that Shine is trying to establish here is not going to be enough to kill the base.
And it was so important for him to kill this 3rd base. We talked a little bit about how he was behind in the upgrades, but he actually reversed the situation because there was not enough gas for Shine to take mutalisks and upgrades. So MarineKing is now a little bit faster with the +2/+2 and will be so much faster with 3/3. We don't even have the infestation pit yet.
Yeah, not even close. I really, really like MarineKing's position here. He's drawing the army back with this drop that was already spotted by Overlords, and he knows the army's coming back. He could, during this, go and try to kill a creep here, but he's just trading against Lynx here, which is alright.
Trading, trying to move back, buying himself some time, setting up his defense at home, making sure that he has a very strong army on the map that he can move out with. And there we go, moves in.
2-2 is almost done. Will he scan here? It's really, really important.
There come the Marines. Nice hit here.
But still, even those hits may not be enough to stop this push.
Yeah, very true.
It's just so many units coming out here from MarineKing. He's a little bit hesitant. He knows there's possibly more baneling traps ahead.
Yeah, but +2/+2 is now going to be completed for both players. But here it is, as mentioned before, +3 attack has been started for MarineKing. The armor upgrade follows suit, and now he will take a massive lead in the upgrades. And once those 2 upgrades hit, this is the time when Terran gets oh so scary against Zerg.
Absolutely, and here come those mutas flying over here. He wants to get a good engagement. MarineKing is not going to let him, though. Going around this building here, making sure that the Banelings can't actually connect with the Marines and the Marauders. He doesn't want to connect those Banelings and Marauders if he can help it.
Yeah, MarineKing wants to take a 4th base, but he needs to take down that Overlord first.
This army is just so strong from MarineKing. Shine is really struggling to deal with it. He doesn't have Infestation Pit Tech. He doesn't have the bigger army supply. MarineKing is just bullying him time and time again. The only thing he can try to do is Baneling Traps, but that at this point doesn't work against units scanning on creep.
Really great splits also on the Widow Mines, just making sure that the setup is really solid, that they don't hit the same units. Really well done, always has a few in cooldown and a few ready to get their shots off. Here he moves in again into a great position, and all those mutants and Banelings have to go through those Widow Mines, taking a couple of shots here. Great splits by MarineKing, taking down most of those Banelings without taking damage and forcing Shine back once again.
Shine is a dead man walking at this point, I feel, because he's dealing with this insanely strong army. There's so many more Widow Mines back to support the reinforcements come through. The mutas are dropping like flies, and it looks like MarineKing has done it. He's pushing forward.
Shine has such a big problem now in lava. He has so much money. He has more than 1,000 minerals and also the gas, but he does not have the lava to get those units onto the map. And now he lost his 4th base, he lost production, he lost income, and MarineKing is on a roll. He's moving in, taking on the Overlords.
Taking down the Overlords, getting these Zerglings. He wants to go for the 4th base here. He's going up the ramp. He can split against the Zerglings again. He doesn't even have to. He's just walking by. Now he starts the split.
Oh my god, the Banelings with really solid hits this time, but look at that supply disadvantage for Shine. He's looking at an 80 supply difference, and we have 3 not even completed. Once those upgrades are done, it's going to be even worse, and I don't think we will even see those.
The larva is just a big problem. He couldn't afford a macro hatch after he double expanded. He lost his 3rd base early on, which helped MarineKing to further push the issue, and 15 Marines at a time coming out versus 8lings and 2 mutas. That's the production problem that we just discussed. MarineKing about to have 3-3. It may not even come to that. He may end the game right now.
The Mutalist trying their best against those Marines, but great Widowmine hits, taking down most of them, and this just simply has to be it. GG!
MarineKing takes the series. A little bit of a comeback kid today. Being down in the series, being down build orders in game number 3. But excellent defenses and a great snipe on the third base wins him the series.
Yeah, really well performed by MarineKing there. A bit of relief on his face now. Jirai immediately heading into the booth there. And that was a really great series. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth action, but it seemed like MarineKing in the late game was just the better player, able to hit his upgrades and hit his attacks. Shine always looked like he was so scared of MarineKing. MarineKing always pressuring him on the map. MarineKing's the one who's more mobile. He's the one who's pushing the Zerg back. Shine never really able to aggressively attack any of MarineKing's bases.
He was just so far behind after that third base fell, and I don't think that Shine realized how aggressive MarineKing could be with those units that he had on the map. He decided to get that Baneling Nest a little bit later, and you could really see that he was just trying to buy himself the time to get the Banelings out so that he can defend this third base. That never really happened. Went for the run by instead, but MarineKing had already reinforcements at the bottom of the ramp at his own natural, defended against the run by, and once that third base was gone, Shine was just falling farther and farther behind on the game.
Yeah. Absolutely, that is the case. I think next up we have Jotchi versus Life, as our schedule was changed a little bit. Is that correct?
That's the last series of the day, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah, yeah, they
changed it, so I don't know. Okay,
True versus Squirrel will be our next one.
Okay, so the Protoss player is going to play next. We have a ZVP coming out as our second best of 3 of the day here at the WCS Challenger League. So guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back after a 5-minute break with the Challenger League and Squirtle up against True.